misjudged where the Chinese units are positioned. They're much closer to the center than I am. So we basically don't have a huge amount of time. At the same time, that's incredibly valuable information. We can more or less take positions here and fight it out. If we try to go here, it's probably too late for us. A lot of infantry coming right up below on the middle of the fucking road. Then a lot of T-34 85s. This is quite a bit cheaper than our tank, but it's pretty much just as good. Meaning we're always going to be outnumbered pretty much when we fight. Right. Right. We more or less want to see this, if at all possible. At one move left. Seriously? Can't go there? Yeah, this is not good enough. On the turn number 2, we have to be on our positions. Okay, we can use C. Still not enough. We see more or less here. That's not necessarily a terrible thing. We could basically force fight to happen here. That's not actually a bad idea. We could make sure that that's exactly what happens if we provide a little bit of smoke here. It'll take, let's say, 2 to 3 turns for them to reach here, depending on the speed they move. We could still get these flags, then pull back a little bit. I'm not sure if I could effectively use the aircraft. They'll have probably close to twice my number of tanks, at least heavy tanks. Keeping that in mind, so they could be spread all over, but they'll converge here. So I'm not too keen on spreading about. Yeah, more or less, this is what we can expect to see no matter where we go. Still, okay, this guy could stay here more or less. What I want to see is, are they moving troops through here? Just need to know if that's a problem I need to prepare for. Also, if they have a huge amount of artillery, this concentration of units is going to be a big problem. But we need to go a little bit further before we can spread out. And the road is simply the best way to do it. I guess we're keeping these guys stationary. They would help against the infantry, but at the same time, if they have aircraft MiGs, I would definitely like to have a decent chance of blowing them out of the sky. Right, we're not seeing anything new. These would have a decent chance of depositing troops somewhere else besides here. Maybe the hill here. Someone also has to take these flags. So we could drop the infantry, anti-tank infantry a little bit to the sides. It's pretty important that we get the anti-tank infantry there though, one way or another. I think we might have to buy time to get the heavy tanks in position. It'll take at least one turn if we want to summon more aircraft, and it's going to be very tough to accurately target them if we don't have a spotter. But they'll probably reach, let's say they have mobility of 15, 16, so somewhere around here after a turn. We could call at least a few aircraft there, could shoot at the road section. You can also shift them around a little bit. This would be aircraft without rockets, so they're not that effective. I can use the next turn to call extra ones. Can't see shit. But they didn't arrive here yet, so they're not really moving at the rate of 15 hexes in a turn. They're using they can probably move that, but they're not, so they're advancing at a slower pace. So we might have a little bit of time of positioning our troops here. Not that much though. At the same time, if they're not progressing at that much of a speed, it might take a huge amount of time to fight through this. 16 turns is a lot of time though. And even from this position we can't really see shit. This is more or less the cutoff line. This guy doesn't really have to move. I'd like to get someone on the hill though. This one that didn't have to move. It sees things on the north side of this river, that's all it really needs to do. I'm not, by forcing this to a close range fight, I'm not sure which side is gonna gain the advantage. My thinking is it's me if I manage to do it in a way there where they have to come through a bottleneck location and I have a large group of tanks firing at it. They cannot come through that all at once. Even if they technically could, they can't because after a couple of casualties the suppression will stop some units from making progress. The thing is, if they manage to get into that position first, we are fucked. So, where to take the recoilless? We could try to push further forward. We would need to get somewhere around here if we want to shoot down there. But I think that's taking a big chance. Not saying I'm not taking it, but because otherwise we'll have to shoot smoke here to guarantee that they're showing their faces when we are ready for them. So I'm not quite sure where that point is. It would like the smoke, I suppose, to be around here, right in front of our flags. This is very tough terrain to go through anywhere but the road. If we try to force it there, a lot of units from here won't be able to do a goddamn thing. Might not be a horrible idea though, but still. Okay, it's not a bad place. Yeah, that's a good one. Someone have smoke. I'd like to mark it if I can. Yeah, that's not the correct location. But it'll do. It'll block the vision, it's not just the same. Alternatively, it can be a location where we retreat to if someone takes a peek through it. So it could still work no matter what we do with it. The infantry units are not that accurate at long distance, that's why I sort of want them to be here. The enemy could try to at least come around these in a lot of locations, so spreading the recoilless rifle units around isn't also too bad of an idea. I don't think we should really have much of a reaction range though. We do not want to start the shooting. These can be suppressed very easily, I know from experience. They're best when they more or less just blow your tank to pieces as their first strike. I doubt they'll come through this south. It's very tough terrain to move anywhere here. At the same time they might. Or not. Don't want to leave the light tanks in the forefront here. Even if they would successfully shoot at the enemy, they're not gonna kill anything and they can easily be blasted apart. So, more anti-tank units, maybe? You see from there. Everything you need. Yeah, we can see everything we need from here. Also, infantry out. Uh, this is actually a very nice location. Be out. Ooh, we have a recoilless here. Uh, you can see a lot. Problem is, that's not all that helpful for recoilless at this distance. So I want more of the K group Pershings to go and get a little bit closer. I want them to be the primary targets the enemy tanks fire at. I guess we'll have to spread around it a little bit. There's no way the enemy can be here, so I ship them more. I think I'm gonna, yeah, just gonna go to another turn at this point. That's not actually too bad of an idea. Because if they're not here, it means even if their front units were here and take these on their turn, it means there's still gonna be follow-up units without a doubt. I'll leave the Bearcats until we actually start getting some contact with them, or they take these flags. So I have some kind of idea where they could be. Yeah. The priest can see them. This is bad. Okay. That's at least 2 immobilized targets. So the priest could see them. From where? Who the fuck sees something? We have to see that unit. Apparently we don't. We see it, but we couldn't possibly see it. Fair enough. Now we're totally blind. This is actually a fine location for these. This will come with quite a bit of delay, so what do you see? Not a goddamn thing. What do you see now? Still not a goddamn thing. I'm a bit worried about what the artillery can do here for us, to our units. We are so concentrated here that it might make sense to just keep certain units in the rear. But at the same time, we'll be radically diminishing our firepower here. It's not something I think we can afford, so... also, I don't think this unit, mission requires us to have a decisive victory. A marginal victory will do. Also, Mr. Greyhound, you really serve no purpose here. Just get the fuck out of the way. Bit risky going there. I don't know if I can get back. We see 2 targets. They're moving about 15 miles per hour. So maybe about 10. Decent speed. You really need to be somewhere else. This is not a bad location. Most of the tanks will be here by the time the aircraft will start arriving. We also saw infantry, so they will not be arriving in time. Have smoke. Okay, not what I intended, but not a horrible thing. Want this area to be smoked pretty thoroughly. 8 smoke ammunition. Good enough. You literally can't shoot there. Oh shit. Could you try hitting— oh, for fuck's sakes. I still want it there. That's a pretty important thing for us. Thank you. 2 artillery pieces are mobilized. I think the rest is doing just fine. Need to move the infantry away from on top of the vehicles. Shafi, this is not a good place for you to be. Want to be close by so we're ready to react in case we need a little bit of extra. But yeah, these cannot go against T-34s. Right, stay and defend these flags. I don't know if there's a point to it. If they get through our tanks, we're gonna be boned anyway, so... we see well enough. This has to be the last movement turn though. At least for the tanks. So whatever your position is, don't care, just take it. Yeah, the army command squad probably shouldn't be quite this in the front, but whatever. They're slaughtering the infantry, the bombardment. So we get a good idea of what they have here now. Mortars there, and aircraft coming through the, tanks coming through the smoke at any moment. I think I'll send the remaining aircraft against the mortars. Especially the 120 millimeters are actually quite annoying. Okay, where were you? Go somewhere else. I still need to be close by, but I don't want the enemy to spot me immediately. Also, most of you just stand your ground. You need to be somewhere else. I don't want these shitty tanks to be the ones doing reaction fire. Sort of same thing with the artillery, but don't know if there's a good way to arrange this. Infantry has to go closer to this location. We basically need... We don't have good anti-tank weaponry though, but we need to be able to shut the thing down. When the units start to appear here, the smoke screen is going to be pushed further forward. We need to make sure that they can't really use it to go around this bottleneck location. Hmm. Want every son of a bitch off the road and off the tanks. Then casual fire will be devastating with the tanks there. We can't see everything. Do you guys see? Yeah, these guys really can't see shit, so they need to go a little bit forward. And we're getting a little bit suppressed, which is not a good thing. And I need to say, this can go really, really badly for us. Yeah, they can't hit the tanks. Because it wasn't a spotted artillery, I guess. Ooh, good one. Immobilized. More importantly, that's a lot of suppression on their tanks, just when they're about to attack us. Yeah, we are terrible at shooting. At this range they will not miss. That's the fourth fucking miss at this range. Yeah, this is pretty bad. At the same time, it's not that bad. I think the aircraft would at least hold the enemy back a little bit. And I want to silence as many of their mortars as possible. Could go with our priest bombarding too. Immobilized, abandoned, and ready and moving. I think the 3 of the 4 basically retreated. Now I'm thinking of what unit to use to, so I don't have to deal with the reaction fire. This is bad. I don't want to see that T-34. So we can't see it. Can't see shit now. When the hell did that happen? Right, so we can see there. At least with some units. You can see it. Fair enough. Still, a single tank seeing isn't all that much. Okay, this would be maybe preferable. Because if there's a reaction shot, the recoil sky costs like 3 points. Losing it is not a problem. Yeah, this is a problem though. Only a single guy can see there. Everyone else, no, 2 guys can see it. Everyone else sees the text in front of them. And these priests too. So basically there's like 4 or 5 units that can actually see the enemy. That's not enough. We need to reposition ourselves. Still need to kill it though. I think there's infantry there, right? I fire with the priests. We would basically be firing in the smoke here. No, we can't. Well, whatever. Not a good turn, not a bad turn. Why do our tanks suck so bad? It's not like we have to scan the entire horizon for tanks. We know that single area where they must come through. And bombardment is murder for infantry, though. Zero sheets was given. We do have to start moving forward after a while, so there's always that. Why the hell can't the artillery pieces actually bombard anywhere? Is the target too close? Yeah, it's too close. So there's an immobilized tank there. We could bombard their mortars. Not like we have better things to do either. From the most part, I think we more or less have to do just a rallying. That's usually even automatic. However, I think the infantry should still be moved, if at all possible. I want to get an. I like to at least get an idea where my units are standing in that sense. So, can I hold my position? Am I sort of? Do I have to fall back? What's going on? Yeah, the main problem with this is, while we can't really lose, we're also not gonna win by sitting here. I'm not sure if there's a great option for us. I think we can do this for a couple of extra turns, and I think that's a good idea in general, because if we get them to have a significant amount of casualties here, it will make things all the easier for us later. There's a but to that. It might not actually happen. Now I can't see that area. Fuck. I sort of can though. Right, we're might lose the location of a couple of recoilless rifle squads, but for the most part things are still going just fine. The platoon of tanks gone, their crew's gone. It's not a huge catastrophe for him, but it's going to struggle pushing forward if he takes these tough casualties. Glad to see you're such eagle-eyed, Martin. At least we got a couple of hits on it, so it's probably gonna retreat. Also, the mortar bombardment was fairly weak on this turn. Bearcats? Yeah, the mortars are good targets. Button, destroyed, 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 abandoned, immobilized. This will probably get back into action. Do we have a B group tank here? Thank you. fuck's sake, it's a single crew unit. Can okay, at least you drove it away. And my recoilless units are getting back into action. Sort of. I don't really see what else I can do here. If they don't have any major flanking maneuvers planned, I don't see what they can do either. We're not doing badly, we're not doing great, because we don't have enough casualties on their ranks. I still dread how inaccurate our tanks are at point blank range too much. One tank immobilized, but their attack is definitely losing steam at the very least. I think we're gonna keep firing at our current locations. Probably fairly ineffectual, but I don't really have other places to fire at either. We could shoot at the abandoned tank too, not because we could really do any harm to it, but because we could prevent the enemy from taking control of it. Nothing important really happened here. B4 tank is immobilized, that's about it. Now the question becomes, where do we want to start making our counter assault? I think I'll make, let's say this turn 8. I was thinking around turn 10, but we might have to go back. I'm not sure if we have enough time if we wait. But we might. Ooh, their infantry is going around us. Trying to go around us. Yeah, they're dead. I'm not sure if waiting is gonna get us anywhere anymore. We have to... Ooh, now there are quite a few tanks there. I think the infantry should more or less stay here, because clearly they're converging here. Probably there's gonna be some tanks coming over too. How to make progress here? Three hits with high explosive anti-tank shells. Now we'll probably lose these squads. They can't move. I don't want to bring the Marines into here. They could not. Well, they couldn't effectively fight against the tanks, so it could go either way. There seems to be a decent amount of action around here. with the infantry more or less stationed there now. We could also bombard this because if we want to make a push through there, it wouldn't hurt if these units were a little bit suppressed before we start shoving infantry there or tanks. Yeah, there it's too close. Maybe the abandoned tank then. Although the mortars are incredibly annoying. This would be the last turn we're here, so... About a turn there, 2 to 3 turn in total here. So double that since we're gonna have to fight it quite a bit. On the other hand, we might get enough casualties caused, so it might not be much of a fight. Okay, this is not good, but more importantly, we need to make some moves now. No longer have the luxury of waiting. Who do you see? T-34. Yeah, I'll take it. It's there's infantry or another unit of another vehicle there. Don't care which one it is. Just need to suppress it a little bit. Yeah, I got 2 hits on it. That should at least make a difference. Sure if it actually does, but it should. Can use some lighter tanks to deal with the infantry. Does zero shits given about the fire that's incoming? Yeah, I think this one saw it. It's definitely the suppression fire. Might be serious enough to be effective though. Fire from another vehicle and hit every time. I don't think we had the luxury of sitting here doing nothing. Shit, okay. It has to be infantry that goes forward first. It's the least dangerous option, I'd say. Gotta stay with the flags. The infantry is clearly going around our center position, the hostile infantry. Don't think it can get to any serious flags, but at the same time I don't really see why I should take any chances with that. I think you should try to fire back there. Yeah, this is gonna be bad. What do you see? P-34. Well, that's nice. That's super nice. Suppression fire. Probably ineffective, but we really have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose but our tanks. I need a kill. I'm hoping they'll suppress the others enough that we might push further forward. Certainly did have an effect. Yeah, I don't think there's a good option here. Doesn't mean we have to do a suicide run with the tank here immediately. We might have better options, like suppression fire. Okay, can anyone move at all here? Not really, no. So it's really... Suppose we could be satisfied and stay here. Oh, you can already fire on the enemy tank. That's interesting. Means I don't have to go right next to it. 3 moves left, so that you can go there. Alright, don't really see anything. Also can't really move. But I was expecting more. Don't fire your main gun into a fix where our own units are. Oh, there's another crew there. Fine. Fine, fine. No, just fucking kill it. I'm not sure if the situation is good or bad. Is it if they have what we see, it's good. If they have more than what we see, it's probably pretty bad. I'm gonna leave some heavier tanks here. At least a couple. But we also need to send most of them just forward. There's likely quite a bit of infantry we'll have to deal with. Right, you sneaky little shit tanks. Fire what you can. We're going to try to push forward from the center. I need a fast unit to scout around. Probably quite a bit of infantry squads running around, generally toward our direction. But I don't intend to go through them with everything, but I need to go through them with, on the road. I didn't see any major tank formations moving here, so I'm betting I'm clear on that one. Also, shooting everything that crosses the river is actually not a bad place to be. Artillery that can devastate tanks. Yeah, I think we're moving. Mainly because we are in a fairly good position to react to almost anything. Mobilized. I think we're pretty much done. There's the light tanks still left. What the hell do you see? Ooh, you don't have ammunition. A light tank here would be nice, because we do need to actually capture things in the end. I guess that's it. Everything depends on their counterattack with the vehicles. If there is no counterattack, this is ours. But there should be at least a platoon of tanks coming from the flanks. No, just a wave of infantry. Well, it's not good exactly, but it's not really a threat to us either. We can certainly hold our ground against a wave of infantry. So, definitely looking good. Where are we bombarding? Hardly matters. I'm sending everything we have on the mobilized tank. It's gonna be a problem for us. Rest of you losers can no, just bombard something if you can. If you can't, keep moving, keep killing. We don't need to kill them, we need to prevent them from capturing anything here while the main group pushes forward here. Also, we actually do have to use scout units to get shit done, so fire on the units that are close to roads. They're easier to damage, and they're the ones we have to push through. Something assaulted us, but apparently I have no idea what. There we go. Still no tanks. There's just a immobilized one. Well, we can't move all that much. They refuse to move for some reason, so I guess I'll have to go up. Oh, this isn't good. What do you see? Probably should make progress. Holy shit. Okay. Quite a few more units than I expected. I don't want to move anywhere with these guys. Getting shot at while you're in the river is pretty unhealthy. I'm not sure if this gives you cover or negative cover in these cases. This doesn't matter too much. And you literally can't fire on anything. Oh, fuck it. You can't. Now you can. I guess the bombardment mission meant that I couldn't manually target things anymore. As nice as it is, we really need to make progress here. The infantry sizes of these units are massive too. It's like 12 guys in a squad. Do you see something? It's pretty risky to push through with vehicles, but what the hell am I going to do? I'm gonna run out of time if I don't. We are gonna leave here with a couple of shots. Right. Not really making much progress. I need light tanks to be moving along the road. They have probably the easiest time reaching furthest away flags. So they can't be having fun here with it. They're good at this job, but they have a more important job to do. I don't think I want to move more now. I certainly could, but there's a lot of infantry squads coming in. And this guy has 3 shots, so it can probably defend the vehicles here from the infantry. Also, if I put another light tank there, that's pretty much guaranteed. To end after this turn. Where the hell did the shot come from anyway? Doesn't matter. If they do long range infantry fire exchange with me, will be fine. Also an active Persian. I'll just stay here again. That's enough tanks for us to react to any kind of threat they might be throwing our way. Okay, with this we should be able to suppress them enough that we can make nice progress on the next turn. I don't really care about these guys. There's enough shitty troops to prevent their progress and probably fight them back too. What we need is something completely different. Right. Artillery is landing more or less where we want it, I guess, and yeah, I'll have to leave it here for now. It seems like we can probably end it in a couple of turns, unless they have some massive new forces coming our way. And it seems like they have just a carpet of infantry, which is annoying, but not that dangerous really. We have maybe 2 to 3 turns to reach all the flags, and we have 5 turns to do it. So it's definitely within our reach. We just have to not fuck up in how we're gonna move these units. Right. There's still a lot of infantry, so they try to forcefully shove through our stream of tanks with infantry. They would have hoped their position they might have been able to buy some time. Now I don't think so. Yeah, we have too many units suppressing them, but even though they can shoot a little bit, they're gonna be silenced immediately afterwards. Still, that's a lot of infantry. That's not just a half a dozen troops, there's like probably a dozen coming from a single direction. Could be easily 20 plus infantry squads coming our way currently. So yeah, I'll have to temporarily end here, but I don't see any fundamental problem why we couldn't do this. This tank is pretty much our only problem. Maybe a couple of others could be stragglers, but we can move about 20 in a light tank, so in a hilly terrain that's probably 15. I'd say 2 to 3 turns for a light tank to reach the final flags.